Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, nerds and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Hey, welcome to Fredo MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I am here with the great Bill Dawes, one of the funniest people I know. Graduated from Brown, is an actor, is successful.
Princeton, how dare you?
Oh, Princeton. Played flag football for Princeton. I didn't realize that was a real thing. It is. Did you guys have an actual? Did you guys have an actual football team?
Yeah, we've had players go to the NFL.
Did people laugh at you guys for being on the flag football team? I mean, that must have been the biggest joke ever.
Okay, I was on the lightweight football team.
That's even worse.
Which is 160 and lower. But the funny thing is, everyone who played was like a high school wrestler. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be great. And they fucking could. I mean, they could tackle they're wrestlers. They could do a double leg like you and Blake.
There was an actual light. So when you met a girl at a bar or club and told her you were on the football team, did you include that you were on the lightweight football team? Because that's got to be. Did chicks want to bang you until they found out you were on because you're like, oh, you're going to the NFL or this or that, and then.
Well, I gotta tell you, I don't think the football team at Princeton was getting all the tail. You know what I mean? I don't think that was like. I think it was more like if you're like, oh, my last name is Daniel, as in the Jack Daniels family. You know, it was all about who you're. Like people like what does your dad do? Where does he work? And I didn't realize what they're trying to find out is if I was from a legacy, and I'm not. I'm from fucking white trash, but. I never understood that until later.
That's okay. So it didn't hurt you being on the lightweight. I can't believe there's even a lightweight football team. Only nerds will come up with that. Like, hey, we want to play football, but we're not that good, and we're not that. But big.
We're not big enough for the big boys. We'll get hurt. I mean, yeah,
man, that's got to be. That's like, were the girls in the league or no?
No. Hey, man, it was competitive. Army and Navy.
They had a lightweight football team.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what, Adam, after this, you're going to Google lightweight football in college. It's pretty. I thought I was going to be like, oh, I'm going to be like top tier because my high school football team was like top 10 in the country. But I was fucking shit.
What did you play? What position?
I was a wide receiver.
A wide receiver.
Yeah.
I played soccer in high school, and I was like a really good like freshman. Like I was one of those kids where they were like, oh, he's going to be really good. And I progressively got worse every year. Like I got slower, and all the kids that were on JV either caught up and passed me. By the time I was a senior, and I was like, man, fuck this. Like the worst is our team. We won some like the prep school championships. And the worst is when you don't play at all. Like you play no minutes and your team wins and you have to still celebrate. Like as if you as if you did anything. Like you're almost better off the team losing because then we suck. Well, I didn't play though. But when your team wins and
you'd put me in, it would be a different story.
Oh, and it did absolutely nothing. I remember one time I was crying because I didn't play. I was so fucking pissed. And my coach took me on the bus and he's like, come on, curse me out. Tell me I'm a piece of shit. And I didn't. I actually didn't, but I wanted to, but I didn't. But then my senior year, I played football because I was, I won the Class A New England prep school at 103, 112, 125, and then 140. And when you go from 103 to 140, it's a fucking jump, So I'm like, I got to get stronger. And I played football. They put me on like the line. I was a nose tackle, right? And I was a 145-pound nose tackle, which is kind of unheard of, but we had two nose tackles and we lined up on each side of the center. Right. And and people didn't even like guard me because I was so small. And I had so many tackles because I would just shoot through the gap and just tackle the guy with the ball. I still don't know one play. I don't know anybody. I don't know one position. All I know is fucking get the guy with the ball and tackle him. It really is the dumbest fucking sport. It's the only sport like you could not know. The only thing you got to be smart at is the quarterback.
Although unless you're Johnny Manziel, I don't know if you saw his new documentary on Netflix, but apparently like he knew nothing about football. He just liked to fuck around, and it worked in high school and college. And then he got to the NFL, and people were like, "What?" And
there was another guy. Vince Young was like that. I went to go a Rose Bowl game, and Vince Young was playing football in college, like you would see a guy playing with children. Like you see how like an adult, like get the ball and you run around and the kids. That's how Vince Young was playing against USC and against Michigan. Yeah. But then in the pros, it doesn't work anymore. That shit never works in the pros. So anyway, my kid, we're waiting for Don Frye and McCorkle. My daughter is so funny, man. My daughter, she's so smart. The other day she goes, "Who wants to get stronger? Daddy, you want to get stronger?" So I was like, "Yeah, I want to get stronger." And then she goes, "Good, carry me."
She's crafty. She's gonna figure out all the life hacks.
Oh my God. So then I'm carrying her. So I tried it on my wife. I'm like, "Who wants to work out their jaw?" And my wife, I'm like, "Give me a blowjob," but that didn't work at all.
All right, well, at least you got a bit out of it.
Yeah, that bit bombed so bad last night. I did that bit last night and nothing.
Really? I mean, that was good.
I think it was good too. I think it's not clear who wants to work out their jaw, that blowjob. I think that I'm taking too much of a leap there. Sometimes like I always feel like the audiences are really, you got to play like they're kind of dumb or they don't know as much as you know. Because I did a joke last night where I talked about buying formula for my baby mama. Yeah.
And being a woman in Texas being like, "Oh, is the mom having trouble breastfeeding?"
Oh God,
it's so annoying. So I was like, "No, she's dead." Oh. And then just to see her reaction, I was like, "Yeah, she died of prostate cancer." Just to like fuck with her like right wing Texas point of view. And then everyone was like, "Did your wife really die?"
Oh God.
So you have to set up the fact that like, "Oh no, we're broken up, but I'm running errands for her." You know what I mean? They're going to think like, "Oh man, he has a dead wife."
Dude, your baby mama is really hot, by the way. You definitely have like a type. Like I met some girl who was like, I think she might have been like a exotic dancer. And
Danny in Vegas.
I see. I wasn't going to give her name, but she's like, "Oh, do you know Bill Dawes?" And right away, I knew she banged you. Like I wasn't even a question. I'm like, "Oh, let me guess." I'm like, "I know, blonde, tall, skinny, but like not like too skinny, fake tits." It was right there. It was like 100% right there. McCorkle, how are you?
What's up? Hey, I was just listening. I only caught part of what you guys were saying, but he was Bill was saying that you should always assume the audience is dumber than you. And I was just thinking that like at Brendan Schaub, that's got to be hard for him to imagine anyone could be dumber than him. But if they bought tickets to his show, how dumb must they actually be?
Good point.
It works out. So
yeah, the math checks out on that one.
Right.
It used to be though, like, and I'm not saying this about Schaub because I don't care enough. People hit me up all the time with Schaub because of you, Sean. They hit me up with like facts about Schaub in my DMs, and I'm like, I don't care. Like I have a friend. I have a friend who's so negative. Like I love the guy, but he's just, you have these friends who like everything.
Wait, are you talking about me?
No, because you're not really that negative. You're actually super positive off this podcast. Like you'll send me some of the nicest, most heartfelt, long texts I've ever read in my entire life. And the sad part is when Sean sends a text and like I don't look at it for like, I'll be doing something and we'll like text back and forth like, what's going on? Great, how you feeling? Better, you too. And then I'll like, okay, and then like 3 hours later I'll see like a 9-page text. I'm like, this motherfucker, I left him on like not even read. Like I feel like an asshole because I'm like, I didn't respond to this one. I have to go back. Like I'm like, I hope you don't think I did. But then he's so heartfelt. Anyway, I have a friend that all he wants to do is bait me into a negative conversation. So he'll be like, "Oh, what do you think of Matt Rife?" And I know he doesn't like Matt Rife, or he's gonna say he sucks, or whatever. So right away I go, "Oh, he's hilarious." Like regardless of what I think of Matt Rife, I'll give him the opposite answer of what he like. The other day he sent me a picture of Dane Cook, who I guess had like bad surgery or bot surgery, and like in a picture it looked like he had bad surgery. So he's like, yo, what happened to Dane's face? And I'm like, dude, I think he looks handsome. Just to fuck with him. Like, just because I know that's exactly what he doesn't want to fucking hear. But otherwise, I can't, dude. People get into their fucking negativity, and it's Bill.
Oh yeah, it's the worst, man. I had a comic I would go on the road, and he just was like, he was being so negative all the time. I was like, I need to get like a cheerleader. I need to get someone who, like, I don't care how funny they just need to be like nice and positive about anything. Particularly when you're a shithole like Reno. And they're just like, oh, fucking, I'm in Reno. Oh, where's my career?
Yeah. Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality you need. The Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people. All right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now. No, I can't.
I was going to say, I have several, everyone said, oh gosh, what were you just saying, Adam? Oh, the negative, like they want to say negative. I've known several people that will say, yeah, your brother's a real greedy bastard or whatever. And I'll be like, well, yeah, he's my brother. I mean, it's just been that way since he was a kid. And then he hits my brother up. Hey, brother Sean was saying what a greedy bastard you are. Like, that's what they like to do. They'll put the words in your mouth that they said. You know what I mean? Like, they'll talk about hey, he's a real a-hole. I'll be like, yeah, I don't really, that guy gets on my nerves. Hey, Sean was just telling me how much you get on his nerves. Like, they turn around, and that's their goal, to make it you that said it. So,
all I get are backhanded compliments of people like, why, dude, if you were friends with Rogan, you'd be huge right now. Or why doesn't Rogan have you on the podcast? Or people go, why doesn't your podcast get more views? I'm like, dude, these are not compliments. I understand that you're coming from a good place in this, but all you're going to do is put me in a bad fucking spot in my life. I'm going to be in a bad headspace if I have to constantly I just put a heart. Thank God for hearts when someone on Instagram messages. I just heart whatever, which is basically thumbs up, because I'm like, I don't care. But meanwhile, let's talk about some fighting right now, or not fighting, but Dylan Dennis. I think that some people have talents, right? Like, you just don't know what their talent is. Dylan Dennis, obviously, jiu-jitsu stud, had a couple fights, looked terrible in stand-up. Last couple of years has been kind of a joke. Got beat up at a bar by a bouncer who put him in a sleeper hold, the guy said. Like, didn't even know what a rear naked choke was. He goes, yeah. And he tapped at a bar, right? So anyway, now wait,
Dylan Dennis got choked out by a bouncer?
Yeah, you heard about that, right?
I didn't realize he got choked out. Wow. Okay.
Oh, he didn't get like totally unconscious. He was tapping to a bouncer at he went to a wedding party, got too drunk, ended up on the ground with some fucking yoked, one of these like Jersey Shore Ronnie kind of guys, who then put him in a sleeper hold, right? He said, I put him in a sleeper hold. That's how And then Dylan was tapping to a sleeper hold, but the guy didn't have like 100 pounds on him, but I'm sure it feel good. But anyway.
Some of that 100 pounds was the snake he had in the bag over his shoulder, though, that he put on Dylan after he choked him out with the sleeper hold. That was Jake the Snake's move, by the way. That's why that joke was great at him, because Jake the Snake is the one that originated the sleeper hold.
Wasn't it? No, it was Bruce Beefcake.
Was it? I thought it was Jake the Snake. That was awesome that Brutus Beefcake would cut their hair after, which was awesome. Yes. Like he was the terrible barber. I always felt bad that he had to work as a barber and be a pro wrestler. It's like fighting in the UFC, how you have to have a second job. But he wasn't a very good barber, so I do understand why he was wrestling.
So Jake the Snake, though, he was DDT. That was his thing.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Which he actually hit by accident. He did it like he tripped. He had a guy like in a headlock, tripped, and then it went so well. That he ended up, that was his like actual thing. Anyway, so Dylan Dennis is fighting Logan Paul, right? October 8th for one of these boxing matches, right? And
is it MMA or boxing?
Boxing, right? Now, common sense says Logan Paul's going to kill him. Logan Paul went 12 rounds with Floyd Mayweather, or 10 rounds. You know, he's a great athlete. He was a college wrestler. I think he was like third in the state of Ohio. But as far as boxing, he went up against KSI, who I guess has some skill, and I guess he lost one. It was a draw. He looks good. Dylan Dennis, this is his first pro fight, right? However, Dylan Dennis somehow found out Logan Paul's fiance, right? So he found out what she looks like and has been posting nonstop pictures of his fiance making out with guys, right? I don't know where he's finding these pictures, but his Twitter right now might be the funniest. People that hate Dylan Dennis, like guys like Jake Shields and Darren Till, are now saying they're fans of Dylan Dennis because, we're gonna start, right. So he goes Logan Paul versus Dennis. So this is what he goes: October 14th, I'll be gracing the boxing ring for my debut. Gonna show the Paul sisters have a phobia when it comes to actual combat, right? Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis, right? So then Logan Paul after the fight. So he's posting pictures. You guys can see this, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Then he has a picture of his Logan's fiance with Leonardo DiCaprio, right? So that's the first one. That was August 8th, right? Then then he has her making out with another guy, right? So I don't know.
I didn't even see the guy there because of his hat.
Right. Then he posts a picture of her topless, right?
Whoa.
So now she's topless, right? And then it keeps getting worse. So I mean, if you're Logan Paul right now, you got to be like, what the fuck? What did I sign up for? How does he have all these pictures? But it keeps getting worse. So then he goes, so then some girl, like he gets into it, some girl. I don't know who these like hashtag like influencers are, but then she's with LeBron. Is that LeBron James?
What appears
well, they're not making out. They're just taking a photo, though.
All right. They're taking a photo, right? So then he's got a picture. Logan has a picture of, I think this is a little person, and then he's with Logan, and then that's them grown up. So.
Oh shit! Oh my gosh, that is golly. I'm going to use that in the future. That's a great idea.
Then it goes. Then he goes right here. He goes to it just keeps. There's a guy, looks like he has his penis out. He's like hovering over her. That's August 10th.
Is Dylan Dennis stalking her? That's my question. Like, has he been doing this for years? Like, just following her around? Like,
so he goes, apparently Misfits, that's the thing, is censoring me, saying I went too far and threatening to pull the fight, right?
Yeah, that's why he's not going to fight, because he goes too far online.
He's always dropping out fights, by the way. That's one thing I don't dance. He's always like talking shit and then dropping out.
So then
that's what Adam said. Common sense will tell you that Logan Paul wins. I was like, common sense will tell you there's no way Dylan Dennis shows up to fight. That's what it tells me.
So then he's got a picture of George Bush back when he found out about 9/11. He goes, sir, another photo of her and an NBA player has emerged. We're up to 26 now, right? So then, all right, then he's got a mugshot. Fuck you, Logan Paul. Then he goes, then it gets to be, then he has a picture of Logan, emotional gangster. And then
What's sad is you don't know if it's real or not anymore with the internet. Like it's
so
hard to.
Dylan's got a gun, and then this is Logan Paul. In this one, the bad guy versus emo Paul. And then the photo of Logan took, remember when the person was hanging in like a forest and he got in trouble?
Oh yeah. In Japan.
So he's got that. And then, but then it gets even more ridiculous. So then he's got one where he goes, he has lawsuit. He's got one with lawsuit, but then some of them are funny. Logan Paul. So then everyone's getting ready to fuck the girl online, and then he has Logan Paul
With flowers, no less. He's gonna ask her to marry him. That's what that's insinuating.
with flowers. Then he got a picture of Logan. I mean, this is nonstop. Like, imagine he knocks out Logan Paul after all this. Like, can you imagine? See, he had Logan Paul cuck in his Pokemon card, and then Logan Paul. Hey, did you see? He has Logan Paul walking into his girl shadow, blowing a guy. But then who's this guy?
Also a little person, I think.
And then he's got so then he's got this one. I don't know who this guy is with Logan's girl. This guy, Logan's girl, is now on the ground. It just kept going. Now he photoshopped this one of him with her. But he goes, this is a digitally altered photo of Dylan Dennis and Nina Agdal. That actually says that, right? Which makes you think the other ones aren't Photoshopped. Because then he has the girlfriend with this guy. I don't know who that guy is. I heard Logan pays one of his fiance's boyfriend's rent. And then it goes, but then it gets ridiculous. Like he goes right here. He goes, not Ja Rule too.
I mean,
I don't know if it'd be better or worse if it was Ja Rule. Like I don't know which one is more insulting.
I mean,
she's been around.
It keeps going. I don't know who this guy is, and then he goes, "I'll let this one slide." I love Entourage. Why is she with? She's with the Entourage guys in this one. Then some guy's grabbing her ass. I don't know who that guy is. Who I don't know who this guy is. Then there's like there's 5 black guys. One of them is KSI. He put
that one looks photoshopped.
And there she is with Walter White from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. And then we want to thank Nina for influencing Jamie Foxx to make one of the best hits of all time, Gold Digger.
Oh,
God.
I mean, has Dylan redeemed himself with this?
I think so. Well, he's always been a troll. He's always been a very good troll.
He goes, she's right here. It says, she goes, let's get checked. Let's get checked, Logan. As your best man, I advise you to take a kid from her and get checked, brother. I guess she was on the show Ridiculousness, right?
Pretty strong.
And then she says this.
Are there any foods that make either of you gag?
My gag reflex is pretty strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to.
So that's her. He writes interesting.
That's bragging, right?
Yeah, this is her and some other guy. And then this one he put Logan on their honeymoon.
Oh
my God.
Golly, man.
Oh man, that's the line right there. There's the line. He crossed it.
Who's this guy? Do you know who this guy is? I guess he's I don't know who this guy is.
I know his face. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I know his face.
And then it just keeps going, right? Like, I mean, he literally, I don't know where he finds all these working overtime. He's got 3 phones in this picture.
I guarantee he has a whole army of fans that are making these for him and send them to him because I've had the same thing. They send me Brendan Schaub stuff every day. Hey, you should post this. You should post this. Like,
oh my God! And then according to him, he saved Logan. I guess they were at a club together, and somebody was going to shoot Logan in the head. And Dylan said he knows he has that kind of clout in New York, and Dylan stopped him from getting shot in the head. That's what he said on a podcast last week.
Dom, no one's getting shot in the head. Sorry. No white celebrities getting shot in the head. It's not happening.
Okay, so right here.
Not about because I said that he's the kind of guy to hang out with his wife's boyfriend. That actually got him upset. He called me crying.
I get that all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
That chirp.
What, that chirp?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, where's the one where he's
now he's trying to have me back on. I declined it. So.
Okay, that big. Oh, so he's him and Ariel. Here's Chandler Parsons with her. And then he goes, more naked pictures. So Don Frye, if you're missing this, Dylan Dennis is fighting Logan Paul in a boxing match, and he keeps posting pictures of his Logan Paul's fiance with celebrities, not Nick Cannon's bum ass as well. It just keeps going. I mean, he somehow found a picture of her.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh boy.
Someone said he must have hacked her phone.
Well, half of it you wonder if it is her. Half of it you wonder if that's even her. Like you can't tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now she's banging space aliens.
Yeah.
Oh my! Yeah, and then he goes, "This one's pretty good." Brooke on Twitter. Brooke in real life. I guess it's Kermit the Frog spreading his ass.
Well, you know what? Here's my theory. My theory is that they found out that Nate Diaz got allegedly $15 million from the pay-per-view. So they're like doing everything they can to trump it up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, how do you think Logan feels? Because it just keeps going. And he wrote, "Whose 40th birthday is this?" The girl's got her tits hanging out. I mean, he goes, it just keeps going. He goes, "Not the dude from Biodome. That's wild."
He called out Pauly Shore's least famous movie of all time.
And then he put Dylan Dennis's face in there. I mean, Logan Paul's face in there. And then I don't know who this guy is. It just keeps going. It keeps going. I guess he has an informant on his team. I mean, this is all from today. I mean, this is.
Oh.
It just, I don't even know, where is he getting all these pictures?
He's given several people his password, I'm guessing, for Instagram or Twitter. There's nobody that can spend that much time online.
Last night he wrote Riff Raff. She's making out with Riff Raff.
Oh my gosh.
And then he goes, and then he put the betting, Logan Paul to call off the wedding. Like he has the odds.
Whoa.
So stupid.
This is high quality trolling.
I mean, this might be the best trolling I've ever seen. Not Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, he's definitely got help from the internet on this one.
Oh my God. I mean, Logan Paul must have a lot of haters, right? I mean, now Logan Paul has not responded to one of these, right? So what do you do? What do you do if you're Logan Paul, Sean?
I would just actually, I would probably hire a hitman to kill him. Is probably what I would do. But no, I assume Logan knows he's not going to fight, so he's not going to give him the attention. Like he's not going to fight. The fight will never happen. It will never. There's no chance of it ever happening. And Dylan Dennis does just what Conor McGregor. I heard the other day he's only fought one time in 5 years. I didn't realize that 4 years. Like, and I was like, he's in the news every day. Every time there's UFC, he's the story. You know what I mean, or whatever. But I think Dylan has perfected it even more than Madonna or Dennis Rodman or Conor has, making it all about him when he never fights. So I think he's fought twice. Hasn't he fought twice ever? Like Dylan Dennis, I think is 2-0 in MMA.
I think he might be 3-0. So here's what he says happened at a party with him and Logan Paul.
Logan was at a party and he came in, he didn't check in, and then he was with the Alex at a party. So I was like, I'm gonna go. So I come in with crutches, right? And I have the video, so like people think I'm bullshitting. I was on one side of the table, he was on the other side, and he was like all freaked out. He was like shitting his pants. And he came over the table and he was like, "You pinky promise me you're not going to do anything." A pinky promise. And I'm on crutches. And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." So like we're talking, whatever. And then like that whole shit happened. And he didn't realize like who I am in New York or the connections I have. And like I stopped him from getting murdered that night, like because they were going to shoot him. And I was like, I don't want him to die. Like calm down. And like after that, he has not come back to New York.
Now he's John Gotti. Like now he's John Gotti. He's the guy that he's running New York.
Oh, you would have shot in the head. Shut up. That's some fake ass gangster shit.
Is there any truth to that story, Sean? What do you think?
No, it's probably like one of Joey Diaz's stories. He heard someone's uncle tell the story one time and he made it his own. Like Joey Diaz, I've heard him tell 3 or 4 stories that I was told when I was 13 years old by my uncle that was in jail. You know what I mean? So that happened to him. Like it's there's no way. The fact he can keep a straight face and actually seem like he means it's hilarious.
I mean, I'm starting to become a fan of Dylan Dennis. He's winning me over.
Dude, you can't. When him and Ariel Helwani got into it, I couldn't help but like him, and I hated him before that. But he just kept clowning Ariel and saying like, come on, Ariel, you know I'm the best at 170 or whatever he fights at, and he just kept a straight face the whole time. And Ariel was actually getting mad about it. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you fought two guys, and he's like, they were both good though, or whatever. And then at some point, Ariel goes, do you even know the last name or the name of the last day you fought? Be honest. And Dylan goes, no, I couldn't tell you what his name was. Like he just was honest about it, which was awesome. So.
What are your thoughts, Bill, about this guy?
I mean, professional troll. I don't think that I agree. I think there's no way that he's going to fight Logan Paul. The only question is like, what does he get? I guess, is he getting paid by X or Twitter for these? Because you can get monetized now, right? Just on social media with this shit. Yeah,
but so, even like I know a guy that like is one of the best at this kind of stuff, and he made like $3,000 last month on Twitter, which is not chump change, but it's not like gonna make a difference. So,
but it's not like unbelievable money. Yeah.
Not enough to get your ass kicked over.
Don, what would you do if Don? What would you do if somebody was doing this about your fiance?
I'd fucking hunt him down and I'd fucking take him for a ride.
Only Don Frye could say take him for a ride, and it could be any number of things, none of which are good.
That's right. That's right.
now, by the way, did you hear Dana White talk about you with Mike Tyson?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah. They were talking about Don Frye, Dana White, and Mike Tyson, saying how much of a badass you were, and how that guy that wanted to fight said he wanted to step outside, right? And you said, "Oh, over there," and then you punched him by accident, but you were just pointing over there.
I was just pointing. He didn't get his head in the way. He slipped the wrong direction.
I like that. That should be in a movie. Over there, pop.
Now, but is that kind of the problem with like because this is hilarious and Dylan Dennis is pretty damn funny, but is that one of the problems though, that a guy could post 9,000 pictures of your fiance and have no repercussions?
Yeah, that is a problem. Mike Tyson said it himself. That's the problem with the internet, is everybody's tough on the internet and they get away with a bunch of bullshit because they know, you're not going to spend the time or money to hunt them down and knock on their door.
Yeah.
But eventually somebody will. And eventually you're going to become the victim.
Eventually someone like me will, and I'll have to pay a lawyer $5,000 to get me out of trouble for showing up to a guy's house and said he was going to kill me. That happened a couple of years ago. So
exactly. Yeah, exactly. They don't like it when I had some guy a couple months ago in Las Vegas tell me he was going to go to his car and get his gun. I said, go get it. Get your ass up on the seat. Well, aren't you scared? No, I'm not scared. Go get your fucking gun, you pussy. And he never moved.
Now, did you already have a gun on you?
No. But if he got up, it had been the last move he ever made. He
forgot. He didn't know Don is bulletproof. Someone hadn't told him Don's bulletproof either way.
I don't know if you guys are following.
There's a process. There's a fucking process to threatening somebody with a gun. You get it first, and then you fucking threaten them. You don't fucking threaten them and then go get the gun. Because you never make it to the car.
Yeah.
You should write a book, Don. Don, you really should write a book. You really should write a book, like How to Be a Man by Don Frye. And
Don, when's the last time you got a fight? When's the last time you fought someone like on the streets, like in life?
That guy at the fight at the at the UFC.
I don't know, Bill, if you know this. He went to a UFC event, and his fight was 10 times more entertaining than the fight that was in the octagon. I guess he was wearing a Trump hat, and someone said something to him, and next thing you know, Don just smacked the guy in the face. Keep in mind, Don 2 days before that was like pronounced dead in the hospital. Like his liver was removed. His like leg was gone. I don't even know how he even got to the fight. And then next thing I know, he's punching people in like the stands. But we weren't allowed.
Temporary insanity, due to the medication.
Now, speaking of getting even with trolls, so Natan Levy, who's Israeli in the UFC, really nice guy, just a just a good dude, like just a very patient and a real martial artist, right? So I guess there was a troll that was talking shit about him being Jewish, and he invited the guy over to his gym, and the guy showed up. And he
always a good idea. Always a good idea.
Yeah.
So he posted the video on YouTube. Do you guys want to see it?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. What's up, people? Listen, today we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, I'm not talking about a baby, although that's adorable. We're talking about your baby makers. Boom. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by MANSCAPED. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensible skin. Trust me. And they deserve products not only skin safe, but also with safe ingredients. That's where MANSCAPED's Platinum package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use the code MMA Roasted for 20% off plus free shipping. Listen, Manscaped, I used to have the hairiest nuts. It was rough. I mean, girls would go down there, they would choke. Okay. I one time I had to go to the hospital. It was just nothing worse than, in the middle of a BJ, having a girl having to like go up and go whoa, and start ripping out hair. It's not good. It's bad. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Some of you friends might be Armenian or Italian or just hairier people. All right. Maybe not. But the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And that's you. Okay. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. We're all about elite. Okay. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and weed whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof. You can shave with less mess. Trust me, you don't want nose hairs and ear hairs. It's not good. Okay. You want to get laid. You want to have fun. You want to relax. Check it out. Go to the Platinum Package 4.0. They cover all bases from head to toe and hair to ball fro. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MMA Roasted. Use the Platinum Package because the gold standard is no longer good enough. So check it out and enjoy everything. All right. So I don't know what this guy was thinking. Like, if anybody who was ever in the UFC or Bellator or PFL and you're not a fighter, do not, even as a college wrestler, do not show up to the guy's gym. It's never going to work out well. Like, have we ever seen any one of these videos where the bully wins? Or
no,
never. All right, but here's what happened.
Nick Fuentes, tell me.
So
Nick Fuentes is the leader of America.
So he likes Nick Fuentes, right?
I fucking hate women, like I just do. It's not a joke.
Political movement based on furthering Christian values in the United States. We started talking on Twitter, right? Yeah, no, I was just messing around. You were messing around? Yeah, and I'm not a hateful person. I love everybody, First impression of seeing Ben in the gym. We got white pussy. Why were we talking about news? Are we defending Nicholas Fuentes? Well, I think because of what he says is right. I mean, you can layer that behind a mask. He needs a nice dollar. I think it's more revisionist. So, not all.
So he says he denied the Holocaust. For
He's just a revisionist. That's much better than a denier.
I mean, what does that even mean? Like,
what a fucking moron. How can you deny? You know what? When Eisenhower freed the people, he said, take videos of this because sure as shooting, someday somebody's going to deny it. And we have videos of all the bodies. That was the most despicable thing ever happened to anybody on the planet. And you got idiots like this denying it. You have film footage.
Yeah,
he's a revisionist, right? Okay,
there'd be like numbers that might have been different over the years.
He looks like a fucking fat Sideshow Bob.
What do you think?
He's explicitly praised Hitler.
You don't know? Can I give you a clue? I mean, they say 6 million.
He says Jewish people should not be allowed to participate in the U.S. government.
The 6 million number. it puts more faces to the name. Because a lot of people know people. There are faces to the names. That is true. Yes.
Basically, we're having something like Taliban rule in America in a good way.
Nick Fuentes' owner is on the line. We talked enough. I think let's start sparring. That's what he came for. He drove all the way. Let's go to the cage.
First of all,
you got people at Berkeley. You got people at Berkeley, saying no Jewish area. It's fucking insane and actually depressing what's going on in this fucking country right now.
I think we should get more MMA professors. I think that would be a great way to teach.
Yeah, absolutely.
UFC fighters. And they go, that didn't happen. And then, slavery was a good thing. And then you have to spar Ngannou or something.
Apparently, my little brother here is got a troll. I hate trolls. Just make sure after this you post the time. You post the DM. I want to see how honest we're being. Well, it's all respect. It's all respect. Well, I'm taking as many rounds as we feel like. I am primarily a striker. I said I did karate, taekwondo, mixed with it for 8 years. I got my.
As soon as someone says
he looks like he's primarily a striker to look at him.
yeah,
that's what I thought when I saw him.
Karate and taekwondo for 8 years, and I'm a black belt. Okay.
Black belt.
Yeah.
I've never done a 5-minute round before, but play UFC 4.
I mean, how do you get a black belt and never do a 5-minute round?
Well, because you did some bullshit like taekwondo.
I mean,
you keep buying belts,
That's awesome. Good, but hey, are you sparring? Yes, sir. Okay, you just trying to wake up? Yes, sir. Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. That's all.
Fucking Ray Seppo.
If you've never had a chance to see Ray Seppo spar, you should watch that. I saw him sparring with Forrest Griffin and carried a conversation on with me while beating Forrest Griffin's ass. We were having a regular conversation while he was hitting Forrest Griffin at will and dodging every punch, and he wasn't even watching him. He's sitting there talking to me and hitting Forrest Griffin with jabs at will. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I saw Ben Henderson talking to his wife to get groceries while beating someone up and telling him, "Oh, you got to pick the kids up from blah blah blah." I was like,
"Good, Twitter isn't real life, but hey, we're in real life now, and it'll be fun." He's just a kid, probably a dumb kid. Hurt him too bad, but this has to be taught here about trolling. Education is painful sometimes.
Yeah, education is painful sometimes. I mean,
like that.
Is there? That's got to be. That should be on every college. That's a better lesson than anything I've ever That should be on a T-shirt. Education is painful. Everything that I've ever fucking learned in life where that stuck with me has been from failing. and from pain.
You know what? This video might be the origin for a supervillain, though.
He looks like a fucking. Or the guy looks kind of Jewish, to be honest. I mean, if we're being totally,
he's retarded. He's
the classic case of fuck around and find out.
All right, here we go. Got him down.
Come on, buddy. Go, Ben. Yeah, Ben.
I'm tired. What? I'm tired.
Get him. Hey! Make him squeal. No.
Make him squeal.
God damn, deliverance.
Squeal like a pig, boy. Squeal like a pig.
So it's not over. Hold on. Then he gets him on.
Oh.
You got 90 to turn to.
hear the crowd, all my teammates rooting for me.
Heavy on the body, Nathan.
Do it again. Let's go, Ben. Come on, Ben. 40 seconds. Give him a big belly. Give him a big belly.
Pig belly.
Rikishi. Little bit.
Rikishi.
Sorry. Keep going. No sorry. Shut up.
Sorry. What the fuck you mean sorry?
Shut up.
Get up. Oh, no. Come on, do that shit again, Willie.
5 seconds. Finish him, man.
Oh. Big belly. Big belly. All right.
One more round.
Okay. He's a real deal. I knew he was a real deal coming in. 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust.
That proves it.
That's so funny.
I think that just goes to show what happens when you take an elite striker out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
If he'd only worked on his jiu-jitsu, he would have been fine.
Oh,
And Holocaust wouldn't have happened. If only he had trained harder on the ground, the 6 million
If
Jews
only
wouldn't
knew a
have
good
died.
mount escape, the Jews wouldn't have died in the Holocaust.
I mean, what did he think was going to happen there? Like, what?
That's how stupid people are. They buy this bullshit martial arts stuff from other styles, which really have no way of being proven as being essential or even or functional, because they train not to fight instead of training to fight. They train not to fight. Bullshit. That's the dumbest fucking thing I ever heard in my life.
Tall Steve.
Yo, sorry about that.
You're here with McCorkle. You're here with Don Frye, Bill Dawes. Tall Steve, what's going on?
I got the whole crew here. I'm sorry about that, guys. I lost track of time.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay. Tall Steve's coming off, unfortunately, his first loss in Bellator. But it looked like you didn't get hurt. It looked like he took you down. That's all he was, take you down.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with it?
I mean, a little bummed out, but I'm gonna take a little break, get back to the drawing board, doing everything I can do.
So how'd you lose, on points?
Yeah.
Yeah, every single round, Tall Steve was ready to go, and this guy did want no piece of his striking. All he did was take him down. Did you know his wrestling was going to be that good or no?
I mean, I knew it would be good, but yeah, I just made some mistakes, and hats off to my opponent. Obviously, he was a better guy that night. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but he didn't he didn't hurt you. He just laid on you.
Yeah.
Did you get a plan B afterwards, or did you
train harder?
I had my diet man, luckily.
Now, did you have guys in your camp that were like legit wrestlers?
Yeah, I did. And I mean, everybody, I did a really good job the whole camp of getting up off the bottom, of sweeping and submitting from my back. It's just one of those nights,
It happens, man. Hey, listen, what do you know? 14-1?
10-1, yeah.
10-1.
That first loss must be, I've never competed, but that first loss must be a tough pill, huh?
Yeah, it sucks. But I mean, it's also a thing where it's like everybody, all the best fighters that I know have at least one or two, and it's, all the pressure of staying undefeated, and every fight you ride into those fights. I'll be honest, it's not nice. It's not even really, I can't really say it's good, but it is a little bit it's nice to know that even after I lost the fight, my friends still want to have me on their podcast. My kids still want to see me when I come home. My fiance is still happy to see me. Had dinner plans whenever I got back. It's it's very very refreshing.
Also, I mean, even if you did get knocked out, that would be horrible. But it wasn't like you got dominated. You just got out wrestled.
I got dominated, but yeah, you're right. Knocked out cold.
Yeah, you didn't get knocked out. It didn't seem like you even got hurt. It just seemed like you were like, "Fuck, this guy's in on me." And it's hard because you're 6'9", right?
Yeah, pretty much. And like you said, I've had wins where I came out of the cage feeling like I'm gonna fall apart. This one was just a bad idea.
If you could run it back right now, what would you do differently?
I would just have a little bit more fun with it, make it a little bit more of I got married to like walking in and clinching with him and kneeing him. If I could do it differently, I'd probably play a little bit more of like a traditional kickboxing range kind of thing.
Don, what should he do? Don Frye.
Shit, buddy. Who's your trainer?
I'm down at Killcliff, so Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, those guys.
Yeah. I'll tell them write up a new fucking game plan for you. You know, either they fucked up or you fucked up. You know, one of you.
I'll take no, that's my fault. That was my bad. I'll take the fault.
There you go. Well, there you go, man. That's solid. That's fucking solid. But then you got to kick yourself in the ass, and you got to get. You know, you got to work twice as hard now. You know,
here's my advice.
You owe it to your fucking team to straighten your shit up and come back and win. You owe them a win.
Well, Tall Steve, here's my advice from someone who's never fought before and has actually no reason to give you advice. Just lower your stance a little bit. It just seemed like you were just giving
for sure.
It just seemed like you were just giving them too much spaces to shoot.
If only you were shorter, Steve, you would have won.
maybe don't wear shoes so you're a little bit lower.
Fight on your knees.
Sean, did everything shape up your house? I heard about yesterday.
What is it?
Did everything shape up with your house okay? I heard you like got flooded or something like that.
My house?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I kind of made up an excuse that there was flooding in your house because I kind of lied about that. No, he did have
kind of. I kind of lied.
No, you did have two guys that were late or something, right, Sean?
Yeah, no, I had guys here putting in a wood burning stove, and they were 2 hours late getting here, and then they would not leave. He kept saying, it'll be about 30 more minutes. I was like, okay, I got some stuff I got to do. And then he was I was telling him stories about the UFC and stuff, which he said.
Oh, yeah, I kind of changed that to your house got flooded, so that way everyone wouldn't get mad.
Yeah, you might want to let me know in the future when my house gets flooded, because he had me worried for a second. I was like, did something happen to my house? Like, I thought.
Well, listen, the whole Bellator event was pretty cool. So in case you guys missed it, Jordan Oliver, who is an Olympian wrestler and a 3-time national champion, was on the prelims, was the first fight of the night on YouTube, which Bellator is doing a great job marketing this guy. He did good, though. He actually won in 30 seconds. And then Logan Storley, who everyone usually says is like boring and blah, blah, he beat this shit out of Brennan Ward. But I felt bad because these Bellator announcers, and I happen to like, Morrow and Big John, but they were like, Brennan Ward took 4 years off because he had a drug problem. He had a substance problem. All they kept talking about was his drug problem. And then you end up like, and then he gets the shit beaten out of him for like, well, I wish I didn't have to know about his drug problem before watching him get his ass kicked. But see, wasn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, but I mean, here we are now wondering why. I don't like to complain about Bellator, especially the people that like I work with every day. But it is one of those things where now we wonder why they have to get sold off.
I know. Are you guys getting? Is the PFL buying you?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. And then, like I said, I'm not talking shit so much as I am agreeing with you. Just saying, like, yeah, I wonder why they did structure the card the way that it was, and like, I mean, yeah, Brennan Ward. I really wish they were a little bit more positive about all the stuff that was going on.
Yeah, all they kept talking about was his like drug. Like you think he got out of rehab yesterday and like walked into the fight. It was so fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
But yes, that was, and then John Dodson won in 14 seconds. By the way, he's now the bare knuckle boxing champion. He's killing it in bare knuckle boxing, which is pretty cool. So the fights this week, I'm actually excited about this fight: Aljamain Sterling versus O'Malley, because I don't know who's going to win. Not that even if I knew who I thought was going to win, it would matter, but I keep going back and forth. I got to think that O'Malley hits so fucking hard, but people don't expect it. And what's the name has to know going into it that this guy hits really hard. So it's not going to surprise anybody. But then if you look at the guys O'Malley beat, he really hasn't, except for Peter Young, which I thought he lost. He's kind of been beating guys on their way down. You know, the Eddie Winelands of the world, or guys that are, whereas Aljamain has been fighting a murderer's row. So I got to think Aljamain wins this fight. Don, who do you think wins this fight?
Oh, I'd go with Aljamain. He got my respect. whooped Cejudo's ass the other month, man. I mean, first I thought he was a crying champion, and now he really earned the championship. That was a hell of a fight he put on.
Tall Steve?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Aljamain there. Like you said, I think O'Malley's really good, and I don't think that it's without the realm of possibility that he wins. But I definitely got to go with Aljamain there.
Sean?
I think with both of them having lost to Peter Yan but gotten the decision anyway, it's kind of tough to call. But I would say, yeah, Aljamain, I sure hope. I want them both to lose. So I just want Aljamain to lose a little bit less than I want O'Malley to lose because he's delusional, which you have to be about your fighting ability to be good, I guess. But yeah, he's a little bit delusional about how good he is. So,
Bill?
Well, I mean, Vegas, the odds must be pretty good, right? They must be pretty good for Sterling, right? So I would definitely bet for O'Malley in Vegas, but personally, probably yes. O'Malley in Vegas, but Sterling in real life.
I kind of liked O'Malley a lot better before he became famous. Like, but when he was like younger and he was doing the podcast and responding back to me, and coming to my show, it was pretty awesome. And then all of a
He's not
sudden,
answering your calls.
yeah. Then he got back to fame. Once he got
now he's a shitty fighter.
Once he got a Tekashi 6ix9ine tattoo, I started to wonder, what is this guy doing?
if we really want to know who wins, it's pretty easy. Just hit up James Krause. I'm sure he's got the inside scoop on who's hurt and who's not, and whoever he's putting his money on.
There was an announcement yesterday. They announced it that James Krause is off the roster for the UFC. But yesterday, I'm like,
that's how tough UFC contracts are. They'll still keep you while you're under federal indictment for gambling charges. Like, you're not fighting anywhere else. But
yeah, I mean, I'm excited about this one. I really am, because I don't know who wins this fight. And I hope Aljamain wins. Aljamain, he's already says he's back up to 150. He weighed in at 135 today. I mean, he's a bigger guy. He's fucking huge, and he's ripped. Yeah. But O'Malley's tall too. They're just both tall, awkward. They're both awkward fighters. When two awkward fighters fight, it's like you and Steven Struve, in the gym. Tall Steve, how do those sparring sessions go?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of long, lanky, nasty action going on.
Luckily, Steve's 2 inches shorter than him, so he doesn't have to get low. So he usually dominates. I heard that lower center of gravity.
We threw a bunch of dry spaghetti in air.
That's awesome.
I've got a funny Stephen Struve story if you want to hear it real quick. When I was going to fight him, can you hear me? My microphone sounded weird. Anyway,
yeah.
I'm getting ready to fight Stephen Struve. I'm talking trash. He won't say anything back. And so allegedly, he told me this after the fight. Like, I just keep going and I keep saying stuff. Every day was the rumor of the day about Stephen Struve. Like, Struve couldn't make a Korean wife submit. Struve couldn't just, on and on. Just every day, something about Nike gave him his own wooden shoe line because he's from Sweden or something, whatever. So on and on. And so I guess he was showing Vladimir Matyshenko, one of Don's cohorts back in the day, the old school guys. He's like a second father to Struve. I guess he was showing him the stuff I was saying, and Matyshenko's like irate about it, man. Like, he's like, I can't believe he's so disrespectful. He's a Russian dude. You don't do this. And then he says Stephen Struve's favorite pre-fight meal is macaroni and dick. And Vladimir Matyshenko, someone translates it for him, and he starts laughing so hard that like Stephen Struve left the gym, like slammed his stuff down and left the gym, because even Matyshenko said, that's a good one. Like, that's a funny joke, like, or whatever. And Struve said he would go to the mall over there and people would yell out macaroni and dick, like as he was walking, whatever, like out in the crowd or whatever. So I thought that was hilarious.
I loved Stephen Struve. He might have had the worst fight IQ. I've never seen a guy who's 7'7" not use his reach in fights before. But he's a good dude. Now Amanda Lemos is fighting Zhang Weili. Lemos, they said when she got popped for steroids, she was a motorcycle taxi driver in Brazil, and then fell off the motorcycle taxi. Who would go on a motorcycle taxi in Brazil? Like, what type?
With a woman.
With a woman, exactly.
I can't think of a worse place to go. I mean, there's got to be no insurance if you fall off that motorcycle taxi, right? I mean, there's got to be. And then Chris Weidman is on the fight. Chris Weidman is fighting Well, who's he fighting? He's fighting
Brad, what's his face? The
Hawaiian Brad Tavares. And
yes.
Weidman says he feels very disrespected to put him on the undercard. He's going to show everybody. I mean, it is kind of weird to have him on the undercard.
Well, they did that to Cowboy Cerrone. Remember when Joe Silva stopped booking and he had the Booker's first match? They had this Cowboy Cerrone open up the fucking card, you know, on the undercard, and now they just put him in the fucking Hall of Fame. I mean, gone.
Yeah, but Cerrone was never but he was never the champion though. I mean, Weidman was the champion. I mean, which is fucking crazy. How's everything going? By the way, Tall Steve, you look very depressed. Is everything okay, man?
Good.
You're doing great. You lost a fight, but it's okay, man. First of all,
dude, that first one is tough, man. I know how he feels. The best advice anybody gave me was Monty Cox, my agent, told me you were not a worse fighter now that you lost than you were before the fight. Like, just because you lost doesn't mean you're worse than you were going in. You know, he said everybody gets beat in this sport, but it hurt. Yeah, that one hurt, man. Like that one, like when I lost it, especially because it was the co-main event and everybody couldn't wait for me to lose. So like they were real happy I lost. And unlike Tall Steve, my family hated me and my children didn't talk to me, and all my support system lost. I went from being a hero on the underground to I could not say a word on the underground with being like, at least I didn't get beat up by Stephen Struve. Like everything I said, like, all right, like it's been 6 years.
At least you were an athlete. Tall Steve had no athletic ability. He was a finance guy who walked into a jiu-jitsu class to lose weight because he needed to get some kind of pussy. And then within 3 years,
you're just really making him feel better, aren't you?
Within 3 years, he was ranked number 3 in Bellator. I mean, Luke Rockhold wouldn't even spar with him. They were calling him loser. They were calling him an ogre. Like nobody liked him. And now look how far you've come, man. Like you have zero athletic ability, and you're one of the best in the world. Like that's got to feel good.
That whole story got more and more and more wrong as it went on.
God, don't kill yourself now. Yeah.
That's the first. Adam was like, the Holocaust didn't happen. That's how true that story was. He started throwing in things. Never happened.
You weren't a finance guy who started training at like 20.
Fuck no, I was a high school student.
Okay. High school student. Okay, but you took a kick. All right, but you were not like athletic, right?
I mean, I didn't have an athletic background. I think I'm kind of athletic. I don't think I'm not Michael Jordan, but
right. But you came in and they kicked you out of the gym, and no one wanted to train with you. And now look how good you are. You're the team captain.
I don't know about nobody. The reason why I stuck around was because I fit in with the team so well.
Oh, all right. I'm just saying. Like,
did your house flood at any point during that training?
Yeah, I had to stay at the gym because my house flooded at.
And now and your fiance is super hot. You got an adorable kid. You got a house. Everyone loves you over at the Black Zillions or whatever they're called now.
The first time I met Luke Rockhold, I was like, let's roll. So that part's not true either.
Well, wasn't he mad at you or something? Didn't he pick on you?
Yeah. So no, famously Rockhold and I, if there was ever a quote unquote tipping point, one time he wanted to roll, and we were doing get up drills, right? So he was on top of me in closed guard, and I stood up like twice in a row, back to back, within like a minute of each other, right? So on the third time that I got up, he jumped on me, right? So I turned around and he had my back. I thought the go was over and I was going to reset, but he jumped on my back and he like pulled me on top of him. And like as I was like going down on top of him, I cut to turn in and my elbow came down. I whacked him in the nose and broke his nose. So that was like the closest we ever had to like a fall. I mean, he would pick on me for sure, but it was mostly just harm. He'd yell at me from across the gym for no reason, and I'd be like, "Okay, dude, whatever." But this one time was the closest we ever had to like quote unquote like came to blood, and even that it was just an accident. Like I was like, "I don't know what you want me to do, dude." Like I thought we were done. You pulled me on top of you, and then he hurt his nose, and then he told Henry, and Henry was like, "Yeah, look, dude, accidents happen. I don't even want me to tell you." But Luke was super upset about it, and whatever.
Well, Rockhold's a poster boy for like not taking mushrooms, because since he started taking mushrooms, right? Him and Rashad Evans are like the mushroom heads now. Like they're just like the Mario brothers. And since he started taking mushrooms, he fought Mike Perry in bare knuckle boxing.
And then he stopped when he got punched in the face because he's like, my tooth fell out. Fight's over.
Yeah.
And now he's grappling against Craig Jones. Like he signed up for a grappling match against the best guy in the world.
Yeah.
And I love Rockhold, but I don't know how well this is going to go. I mean, I guess it's grappling, so you can't get hurt. But what do you think, Tall Steve?
I mean, Luke Rockhold as a grappler is kind of where I like him the most in terms of like singled out ability. If Nicky Rodriguez couldn't do anything to him, I'm not sure what Craig Jones's chances are. I mean,
wait, Nicky Rod couldn't tap Luke?
No, didn't even take him down. I took him down one time, I think, but then they ended up back on their feet. I mean, Nicky Rod's respectively the best at his weight in the world outside of Gordon Ryan. So no, I really like Luke Rockhold's chances.
I hope he wins. I happen to love Luke Rockhold.
I mean, in keeping with that, yeah, Craig Jones is a beast and like one of the best in the world for a reason. But I really like Luke's chances there.
Me too. Really? I'm just
in spite of all the shit that I talk about him, I really do like Luke's grappling ability.
I hope he wins. I honestly really do. What else? I like it. So now, by the way, have you guys heard about Israeli Fight Night?
I thought that was every night over there.
Oh man, are you going to deny the Holocaust next?
So they're having Israeli Fight Night, by the way, and it's let's see if I can read this.
Please tell me it's not Arabs versus Israelis exclusively, because that's what that looks like.
Hold on. How do I? So it says, oh man, I gotta find my thing because I could translate it. It's Nod Lahat against Albert Morales, Luke Rockhold versus in grappling. So I guess they're fighting in Israel, or they're grappling.
I like how you translated the English part. Let me translate this: Luke Rockhold versus Craig Jones.
No, hold on. It's actually pretty funny. Whoever writes these things is like they're hilarious. So Israel Fight Night. That's funny, by the way. Every night. So yeah. So Node used to be in the UFC. I think he was in Bellator. He happens to be a really good guy. And Albert Morales, I'm pretty sure is a good fighter. Israel Fight Night. Why can't I find this?
You know what's funny is the way they wrote that poster. Johnny Hollywood Case is fighting Loe Sakis, and it looks like Craig Jones' fight name is grappling. It's like Luke Rockhold versus Craig Jones grappling.
Grand slams, no hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sports book and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 of bonus bets. Win or lose. How great is that? Okay? Visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay, your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. And bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go. Oh, see translation. All right, here we go. So he goes, so it says, translation, because it's in Hebrew. He goes, bringing you amazing fights that will knock you out.
Wow.
The biggest MMA event of the year, Israel versus abroad, is real soon here. So here are the stars that will appear in the very difficult central battles that are waiting for them. Luke Rockhold versus Craig Jones. Johnny Case is kickboxing. Albert Morales is fighting Destined for Passion. I guess that's his name. Destined for Passion. I guess that's his. I don't. All fighters are striving to get to the UFC with madness in the eyes to go for the epic title of the biggest MMA event of the year. Where? In Peace Arena in Jerusalem. So
the irony of an arena in Jerusalem being called Peace. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. But I will watch and I will support this, whatever this is. Don Frye got kicked out of the thing. I don't know where Don Frye went. I think Don had enough. So
he's probably busy thinking of more things to demotivate Tall Steve. Like, what can I say that will make him feel even worse?
Tall Steve knows I love him. He's one of my favorite people. And his fiance. I thought you guys were getting married. What happened? When's the wedding?
I mean, we have a house, an engagement ring, and a kid. Man, we're married. We don't have one scheduled.
Okay, you leaving? Okay, isn't your kid like 20 now already? Hurry up. She's 2. Got it. Okay, so
close.
Amanda Lemos.
Oh, she's 20 with us, right?
Yes. Neil Magny is fighting Ian Machado Gary, right? So this guy Ian is undefeated. He's from Ireland. They're calling him like a knockoff McGregor. So this got really heated yesterday because Neil Magny, who's normally the nicest guy ever, so he says, I'm going to beat him worse than I do my kids, right? To which people got very upset about that because they're like, why is he beating his kids? Which I don't think Neil Magny beats his kids, right? I actually wrote a joke and I tried to ask Neil if it was okay if I wrote this. I go, Neil, is it okay if I go, Neil Magny does not beat his kids? He never even met them. But then Neil said, please do not make that joke. So I did not, I'm not making it. But I thought it was kind of funny.
You're not making it except on your podcast.
Yeah, my podcast. We get a lot less people. But I happen to love Neil Magny. The guy's a military vet, great guy. I hope he beats Ian Gary. The press conference got really heated. What do you think about this whole thing, Steve?
Yeah, I've only ever heard good things about Neil Magny. And Ian Gary's, my teammate or whatever. I don't know. Like I think it's much ado about nothing. Neil Magny just made a joke in poor taste that a lot of people took the wrong way because you can't make a joke about anything these days. And Ian Gary just happened to jump on it.
What was the joke? I didn't see it.
On your iPad?
It was something along the lines of like, I'm going to bend him over my knee and beat him like he's one of my kids whenever they step out of line or something.
Yeah.
Well, if his kids are well behaved, then maybe it's working. So I don't know.
No, we do not support beating kids on this podcast, so I don't have to edit this out. Now, so here's what happened at the press conference yesterday. Sean?
They got it. Shut up. Keep talking. I'll fucking talk all day long. On Saturday night, I'll jab you in the mouth and I'll break that fucking nose. I guarantee you won't. I guarantee I will slap the fuck out of you. Do it. Down the mat. I guarantee you. Mate, you get people like fucking everybody. You're going to try to have a boring fucking fight. Which one do you want? I guarantee you. Mate, what are you going to do? You're going to put me up to the cage. You're going to try to clinch. You're going to have a bore fest. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Guarantee what? You're getting your ass whooped tonight. I guarantee it. Wait till whose ass have you ever whooped? The guy that you're training with to try to beat me. That's for one. Bro, you took this boy on 7 days notice. I got a long lanky on you. I'm going to whoop your fucking ass.
All right, so
I thought Neil Magny was from Atlanta. Does he have an accent? Like, what is he not American, or is he just doing that accent?
No, he trains in like Colorado.
But he had an accent there, didn't he?
Maybe it's Steve. So Ian Gary's your teammate?
Yeah, he does camps with us sometimes. Yeah.
Is he a nice guy? Is he normally like this? Is he amping it up? What?
He's generally really cool. But yeah, that looked really heated. I don't know. that was weird. That was oddly hostile. Like even for a press conference,
I mean, what's going to happen in this? How good is Ian Gary?
Ian Gary is very good. And And I don't know, but I mean, I'm not the type to. You heard it there. I think if Neil Magny wins, it's because he got his paws on him and he pins him somewhere. But I like Ian Gary in that fight.
Got it. So if like you don't like one of your teammates, what do you say when someone asks you about them?
I say I fucking love that guy.
Which means more or less he hates Luke Rockhold. I'm just saying how great he is.
You can't help but love Luke Rockhold. One of those guys you can't help but love.
No, Ian.
I think in Luke's defense, he was. I know that Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier tortured him when he started in MMA, at least at their gym at AKA. I heard they absolutely just tortured him with hazing and beating the hell out of him. So I'm sure he was just giving some of it back to the new guy when you started. So
yeah.
I do, even in spite of all the whatever the commotion has gone on between Rockhold over the years. I do really like and respect the guy.
Of course. No, he's
a little bit more respect than like, but
if I was as good looking as him, I would quit if one of my teeth got knocked out too, dude. Like I really would. Like if you're that good looking when your teeth get knocked out, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'll quit.
If you got all your teeth chipped and knocked out, I'd be like, all right, look, like I can't keep fighting like this.
Yeah. Do you guys know, I heard this rumor the other day, and it's true, I guess. Brendan Schaub gave himself cauliflower ear at the beginning of his career with a pair of pliers because he wanted to look like a fighter. No, somebody told me that he wanted to look like a fighter, so he used some pliers and squeezed his ear over and over again until he had cauliflower ear. So that's true. That's what I heard. I really did hear that.
That is ridiculous. So Cody Gibson, by the way, who made the finals on The Ultimate Fighter, he's a guy that was in the UFC. He got cut. He didn't have a good run in the beginning. He was like a teacher. He went back to teaching. He was campaigning door to door for Bernie Sanders. I mean, this is what he was doing. And then he's on The Ultimate Fighter now. He's now in the finals, which is damn awesome. He actually, he was boxing. He was doing all kinds of weird things, but super happy for him because there's a guy that was down and out. He says that Conor McGregor is not his favorite person after having Conor as one of his coaches. It's probably the nicest thing anyone said about McGregor when you're putting him down, but I mean, not my favorite person. McGregor says he's coming back in December, but they figured out the math that he would have to get a USADA exemption. If that happens, Dustin Poirier said USADA is a big joke because how are they going to let this happen? And any thoughts on that, Steve?
I feel like a lot of these guys are getting USADA exemption. It's not the first time we've seen something like that, and I'm not even talking about like in a high-profile case. I'm saying we've seen dudes skirt the rule for that. I don't know. I mean, I'm also of the mindset too that if Michael Chandler agrees to it, then why not?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Michael Chandler, I have no doubt he'll fight a McGregor on steroids for $5 million because like I would. But no, it's if guys really knew, and I know from people that know, USADA's caught several guys, but they weren't going to cancel. The UFC wasn't going to cancel a card in Abu Dhabi because some guy tested positive. So they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll do some more research on that, USADA. We're the one paying you, So
yeah.
It happens all the time. The big stars don't pass. They just like the picogram thing. Like I'm sure he ate some kangaroo meat, and that's how John Jones had steroids in his system. That's why he looks like shit physically now, but didn't before.
Steve, has Bellator ever tested you?
Yes, once.
Once in 10 fights?
Well, a year ago. No, I fought for Bellator. Eight times? And they tested me a year ago. It wasn't Bellator; it's the commission.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Like steroids. That's what I was doing.
we saw a picture of him in the thumbnail there. Brock Lesnar got the exemption against Mark Hunt, and that almost as quickly as it came up, it went away.
Aren't sports better with steroids? Aren't they just more fun?
All right. Well, probably. I mean, in some ways, but there's a video now of Tank Abbott falling down in Hawaii. Have you guys seen this?
No.
So Tank Abbott was a guest.
I feel like that's not Tank Abbott.
No, that's not Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott showed up to this event, right? And they brought him in the middle of the fight. They brought him in there.
So this story happened September 7th, 1999.
during what some call the greatest one-night heavyweight tournament ever. Josh Barnett, Rico Rodriguez, Heath Herring, Bobby Hoffman, Travis Fulton, John Marsh, upcoming young superstars. Between the second and third round of the Bobby Hoffman Heath Herring fight, I decide to announce to the crowd that Tank Abbott is in the building. What I wasn't aware of is he was 3/4 deep into a liter of vodka. Before I know it, he's climbing in the ring, and I'm thinking to myself, did I get security? No, Tank, no.
So this is during the fight.
Let's go.
Thank you, Tank. You can sit down now.
He wants to ref.
Seconds. Good to see money doesn't change you, Tank.
I love how we're breaking MMA news from 1999, 24 years ago.
That was on my TikTok, but come on, that's pretty damn funny. Like, whose idea? Like, I wish that happened now.
Sounds like it was Tank Abbott's idea.
Like he just comes in, tries to ref, and then starts yelling shit. I don't know, man. Those are the glory days. Those are the best of times, the worst of times. So also on the fight coming up, we have Damon Blackshear against Mario Batista. I think Damon's the guy that tried to like fuckface the guy with his cup. Remember the guy? Wasn't that him? Is that the same guy that? Oh no, is that him? No. Oh, he's the 145 pounder who fought last week. He's the guy that won by Twister last week, and he's fighting again.
Yeah. Replacing Cody.
Did he just not go home? Like what? Is he one of your teammates too?
He used to train with us a long time ago.
And they're just letting him. So did you see that, Bill? You see the fight last week?
Which fight?
I always get him and Dontel Mays confused because it's Damon.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Is it because they're both black? Is that the real reason?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they look so much alike. But yeah, so he's. I mean, he got won by Twister last week, and he's fighting again this week.
I would love to see that because I haven't seen an MMA fight decided by Twister in like 10 years.
Yeah, it was pretty damn awesome.
I haven't seen MMA fighting in Twister since I got in a fight playing Twister in elementary school.
After Daddy's done with this, do you want to go to my little town? Mommy had to go to your school to meet your new teacher. I'm almost done with this. I'm gonna go to my little town. Okay, high five. You want to say hi to everybody?
Let's go.
So yes, so we got that.
I didn't know you owned a town now. It really is. What they say about you Jews really is true. Taking over towns.
Yeah, thank you. That's what you say. And then the guy who Natan Levy beat up. Andrea Lee is fighting. Andrea Lee, she's the one that was dating that guy who's her trainer who was beating her up. And I don't know. I think the guy's still missing. But now she's got a great boyfriend who I like a lot. I think he trained with you guys, right? The guy that was on that Cage show. Did he train with you guys? The young no.
No. I have to narrow it down. That guy that was on a Cage show.
No, it was a show called Cage. It was a show called Cage on MTV. It was a reality show, and one of the guys. One of the guys was Danger Cage, and there was another guy who is dating Andrea. Andrea's like kind of a hottie. She's like a hot mom who is all about I don't know from the South. I haven't watched porn in 2 months, by the way. In case you guys are wondering.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
Awesome.
I just gave up porn. You know who actually told me to stop watching porn and I actually listened was Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate made a whole thing about how he's like, I'm porn, it fucks with your mind. You start getting into and I'm like, that's actually a good point. I don't even listen to Andrew Tate. It was like the clip came on my Twitter feed, and I'm like, that's a good. Maybe I'll try that.
That's how you know Adam was watching way too much porn when Andrew Tate contacted him directly and told him to stop doing it. He's like, dude, listen, it's too much, Adam. But no, I agree, dude. I warned my son he got a phone when he was 10 years old. I warned him about porn and about.
I don't have my personal credit card.
Like how it can change. It can change everything. Like it can change the way you view women, the way you view relationships. It's bad news, especially for young kids. You know.
Well, I was also watching like very specific porn. Like I wasn't even watching regular porn. I was watching porn where like a guy walks into a bachelorette party and like 30 girls take turns blowing him, and I'm like, this is never gonna happen. Like this is like what am I doing? I'm setting myself up for a fantasy that like even if I was single, this wouldn't happen.
Unless you went to Joe Rogan's studio and had all the other comedians that hang around him were there, that might happen.
Yeah, it was like called the Dancing Bear. If anyone wants to know. So anyway, have you guys followed the Eminem Melly Mel feud?
Oh God.
No.
I don't know who either of those are at this point. I'm not even sure I know who Eminem is anymore.
All right. So Eminem, obviously, you guys know, one of the best rappers ever, blah, blah. So Melly Mel, who was like one of the original rappers, I think he was in like that, White Lines, like he was like one of the original OGs of rap, said that Eminem will never be top 5 because Eminem's white, right? So Eminem made a rap song about dissing the game and Melly Mel and this and that and going back and forth, and then killed him. Eminem's thing was actually it was a great song, but then Melly Mel made like a counter rap, his retort, and it was horrible. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Of course.
So Eminem, and then everyone just started making fun of Melly Mel. Like it just be one after another. So Eminem verse, Eminem Melly Mel verse.
The question is, who really lost when Eminem is talking about Melly Mel, who was a rapper 40 years ago? Like who really lost in that exchange?
Correct.
Yeah. So this is the realist, right? This is the realist. Hold on. You guys see?
No, there's nothing on my screen.
All right.
There we go.
So Eminem comes out right here.
I'm in the most right
here.
When they say that I'm
right here.
Really no right to complain much. Hip hop has been good to me. But when they say that I'm only top 5 because I'm white, why would I be stunned? My skin color still working against me. Because second, I should be the none. Being white ain't why they put me at 5. Nope, it's why I can't put me at 1. They come in with more venom, so the haters I'm aiming it toward them. And know the envious rappers I torch if I'm on a joint with them. And that is the only retort, because I'm not played in the club. Motherfucker put a cork in it. Only reason they play your shit in the club is because you still performing. I am again in this house, but I turn this bitch into a mansion. Created Gargantuan England, Germany, France, and Japan's in this bitch, even Dubai. Because my music they do buy. You died trying to sign just a side guy. Just could not unscrew my head. The blue-eyed devil, I never quit, do I? Because you know you get washed like a bar. So you wouldn't give a cigar to smoke. I know it eats at your heart like an artichoke. Because you know that's how likely you are to choke. Your heart is broke as I rip you apart. I go bananas, proceed to spit every bar. I was spitting before my mother's water broke. It's not even close, you bitch, how my father go. Gen Z is acting like rap experts. Zip up your gaps and close your mouths. Bitch, you ain't been on this planet long enough to tell me how rap's supposed to sound. Y'all need to stick with the best, shooting schools up, go load up rounds and your parents is gas and go to class and let off with the strap and go to town. Shout to the Furious 5 and Grandmaster Flash, but boy, there's someone who really is furious. Stay out his path, his wrath avoid. And I'll be the last to toy with a truth that his brain is like half destroyed, like a meteor hit it. Well, then with Melly Mel, we lost his asteroids.
Yeah, so Melly Mel is like fucking jacked, right? So he just killed him, lost his asteroid.
That's something to make fun of somebody of. You look like you're on steroids. Like, yeah, that hurts.
But Melly Mel came back, right? And it did not go well. Right here.
No apologies. This ain't a disclaimer. I'm the king of legend, the first Hall of Famer. Making diss tracks, I know you with that. Now everybody get ready for the kickback. Why you hurt? Why you mad? Now you look bad. Like a roach just crawled out of your book bag. In a backlash, black class. Go to bed with no supper, cause you gotta see the backlash. The top 5 is cap. You the piss that's on the floor in the elevator of rap. Why you ducking on the game when you shit on my name? Why they put Pee Wee Herman in the Hall of Fame? I would give you a pound, but I break your hand. I got a lawyer so white, he will take your land. Yo.
Yeah, so yeah, he kind of raps like they did back.
Like Cool Modi, like as if he has his law degree. That's what it sounds like. The guy speaks very well.
Like a roach coming out of your book bag, and just everyone, like the memes were the best. Like it was one as they had like these old guys like rapping. It was so funny.
I love that he said he has a lawyer so white he'll take your land. I think that's another shot at the revisionist.
So,
oh God.
Yeah, that was, and then I had to. My favorite rapper of all time is Old Dirty Bastard. He's the best. You ever hear the story about? There's two really funny stories that Joe Budden talks about. You ever hear that story?
No, I try to avoid Joe Budden at all costs.
So he did this song with like Mariah Carey, right? And that one thing, that song with Mariah Carey. Talks Steve, you know, right? That one he did.
Old Dirty Bastard did.
Hey Mariah, go together like babies and pacifier. You know what I'm talking about? No.
I know the song. Yeah.
So this is one of the funniest things. So this is, hold on.
I just read it earlier. The story of ODB making honey with Mariah. That shit was amazing.
No, but I'm sure it's probably the best story I've ever heard.
It was amazing.
And is there footage of this?
Did you hear it?
No.
Only me and Parks? All right, no, never find it. No. Hold up. That was funny.
They need a video of them in the studio making a record. Any story I've heard of ODB doing anything. That's hilarious.
Here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'll try to read quickly. This gentleman says, Rooney, let me not do that. He says, I reached out to ODB and he wanted $15,000 to rap on the record. At the time, that was a lot of money, but it really wasn't for Mariah Carey's budget. So no problem. He finally showed up 3 hours late, and when he got there, it was about 10:30 at night. He had been drinking and was on the phone when he walked in, irate, screaming at some girl how he's going to come kill her. He's going to kick her ass, and then whispering, I love you. Then screaming again. This went on for an hour. No judgment here. He finally came out and was like, yo, pardon me, this bitch is driving me crazy. I need some Moet and some Newports before we get into this record. I said...
I want to stop at him. Say, pardon me, everyone. As like a nice gesture. This bitch is wild.
I said, it's 12:30 at night, bro. Night now, bro. I don't know where we're going to get Moet from. He started yelling at the assistants, calling them white devils, saying, you white devils, y'all don't want black people to have shit. They went out for like an hour, and the only thing they could find was some Heinekens. He was so disgusted, he threw a bottle on the floor. Sounds like a wild Rory rage rant.
Like a Rory,
yeah, Rory's been there. No judgment from him.
Throwing bottles.
At this point, Mariah had been calling every hour and hour, wanting to hear something over the phone. Tommy was pissed because Mariah was keeping him up, so he finally got on the phone with ODB, and after that, finally we started to record. He said one line, me and Mariah go back like babies and pacifiers, then paused. Said, yo, I need to take a break. And then went to sleep for 45 minutes. He woke up and was like, yo, let me hear what I did so far. Wait, where did I go? Wait.
Yo, waking up saying, let me hear what I did so far for 2 bars.
But everybody has done that.
Have you heard your album?
But everybody's done that. We played his one line back. He sang another line or two and then slept for another hour. He would come up with a line, punch that in, go to sleep. He went to sleep 3 different times in the middle of trying to get that one verse done. If you listen to the record now, on his verse, you can hear it's punched in pieces. He actually told the engineer, y'all better have y'all shit together and record it right, because I'm not doing it twice.
That might be the greatest fucking story ever.
It's not finished.
Oh, shit.
I stayed in the studio until we finished it. So I was sleeping in the studio when Tommy and Mariah called me, and they said they loved the record. But Tommy had a bright idea. Let's get ODB back in the studio, and instead of just New York in half, do a line for all the cities. I said, you've got to be kidding me. Of course, ODB wanted another 15 grand. He came back to the studio, a little more mellow, but dead tired. He's sitting there picking food out of his teeth. He pulled a piece of food out of his mouth so big it was scary. I was like, how long did you walk around with that food in your mouth? Like, it was unbelievable. Then he fell asleep on the couch, kicked one of his shoes off. His foot smelled so bad, we had to let him sleep and leave the control room. Eventually, we got the other parts done, and that was that. And I thought the story was over. A week later, it was time to shoot a video. We reached out to him, and he wanted another 15 grand.
Sounds about right.
No problem. So I sent a car to his house, and he drank every friggin' thing in the limo. Showed up at Rye Playland in New York and went to his trailer. I asked him, do you need the stylist to buy clothes for you? He said, nah, this is hip hop. I'm just rocking some jeans and Timbs.
Right.
That day he was in a trailer, in and out of consciousness, when I said, we're getting ready to do a scene. He said, I don't got no clothes. How am I going to do a video if I ain't got nothing to wear? I started screaming at him. Yo, this is not the greatest ODB story in the world. Tommy told us take my corporate credit card to the mall. Old Dirty disappeared for a minute, and we found him in the store trying to buy Louis Vuitton luggage. He said, "I'm going to use it for sale." Luggage. That luggage never made it. He came back on the set with all these bags of Tommy Hilfiger clothes and Timberlands. It was finally time for him to do the scene, and I promise you, he put on a pair of jeans and Timbs and said, I'm not going to wear a shirt. I don't need clothes. I wanted to shoot him.
So yeah, I wanted to share that story with you guys. Thought you would enjoy that.
Next time we should have someone that can read the story, because it's probably much better if you can actually read.
That's a good story though. That's fucking hilarious.
No, the story was great. He just can't read. He's like Floyd Mayweather trying to listen to him read, but it's still nothing compares to your Jay Moore. The Jay Moore story you sent me about him talking to your kids is still the greatest thing I've ever read in my life, dude. That was amazing.
Dude, that was. Yeah.
Send that to Tall Steve. That'll cheer him up. Explain that story.
I will do that. And by the way, we still have the gay porn stars is still coaching over there. He's doing a really good job. There was a guy who came to practice. My friend owns a wrestling club, and then he was like, my friend's like, I think he might be gay. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Well, who cares? I look at his Instagram. He's like, he wins like gay porn awards. And I'm like, I don't think we should have him coach kids, you know.
So he's qualified too.
So then, yeah, he's and then like there's videos of him like getting fucked in the ass and then blowing a guy. I'm like, well, he's a team player, you know. He's very explosive from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So anyway, we talked to him and we decided that like I called Ben Askren. I'm like, Ben, what do you think we should do? And Ben's like, just hire him and tell the parents. So we have to tell the parents when they come in. By the way, before we have practice, this, you know, one of the coaches. If you want to see some videos, and they're all cool with it. So yeah, that's
Ben was like, before I started coaching, we did it. And nobody had a problem with it.
So this tonight, by the way, Maurice Green, who is still in the playoffs somehow. He lost his last fight. He was running away from the guy, and then he started dancing at the end like he won. Him and John Jones, who was coaching him, he's still in the playoffs. I hope he wins. He's the guy that is a sewer. I was saying he's a knitter, like he knits things, and then all of a sudden Sean kept laughing, thinking I was saying something else, but that's not what I was saying. But he's a sewer. He's a seamstress. He's fighting Hanan Ferreira, Larissa Pacheco, who looks unbeatable. She's fighting Olana Kolzik. She should win that fight. And then a guy that you fought is fighting tonight, Satoshi Ishii, a guy who Sean fought. He's fighting in the PFL tonight. I mean, how old is Ishii?
Dude, I don't know. He was a 2-time or 3-time gold medalist in the Olympics when I fought him, and that was like 2013. So he had to have been 30 then, I would think. I don't know. Yeah. Let me look it up. He's got to be in his 40s, I would think. I'm so dumb. I thought I could clinch with him because I thought I was too strong for him. A 2-time judo gold medalist. I thought I would clinch with him. That worked out great. So he tossed me on my head immediately.
Damn. And then by the way, somebody does a TikTok breakdown version of the fight in Bloodsport. He does commentary on it. This might be the end of our podcast forever, but it was pretty damn funny.
Before the fight, Chong Lee's all smiles because he hasn't snapped a neck in 6 hours and he's ready to go.
Right,
Frank
so
Dukes, on the other hand, is like, shit, I got fucking loaf in my pants. They meet in the center of the blood-soaked ring, flex their nips, and oh yeah, we got a chub off on our hands. Right off the bat, Dukes uses the ref as a trampoline to deliver a flying chest kick, a move so powerful that it puts the official into a temporary coma. Lee responds by doing that thing you do to your younger brother when you forget how light he is, and you go, hey, watch this, before tossing him through an end table, and your mom's like, for Christ's sake, this is why I drink wine from a coffee mug that says breathe. Frank does a front flip before detaching his leg and kicking Chong Lee directly into the face. And folks, you've never been in a brawl until you've been hitting the cornea with a pinky toe. Now right here, Chong Lee looks like a teen who just got the Spice Channel to go unfuzzy for 12 seconds. And he's running an up-tempo crankdown. But if you look closely, he's grabbing some kind of foreign substance and he tosses it right in Frank's eyes. So at this point, he's like, dude, what the fuck? Are we throwing sand now? I didn't hear about this. Was there a sand truck? Frank realizes he's sliding into another dimension, but he's trying to weather the storm. Like a dude who ate too many mushrooms. And he's like, these aren't even that strong. But also, why am I falling down a well filled with spiders? He throws a right hand to where he thinks his opponent is. Absolutely not, dude. Charmingly takes advantage by hitting Frank several times, including this slap, which is deadly if someone's suffering from swimmer's ear. Another kick sends him flying into a move known as, of course I can do this cartwheel in this Hooters. Things are getting dicey for Frank right here. His mind is melting like a guy who's in hour 3 of trying to put together an IKEA bookshelf. Where's the C14 screw? Bitch, there is no C14 screw. Frank got a full-blown panic scream. This is used when a friend asks you to help them move in exchange for pizza. And he's desperate. He's saying, Lord, I know I shouldn't have eaten a gas station hot dog before a wedding, but if you let me make it through the ceremony with a clean backside, I'll do whatever you want. God answers and says, hey, one set of footprints, motherfucker. Get on my back. You know, oh yeah, we're catching punches now. Frank starts doing double Dutch leg kicks and the crowd is losing their shit. Chong Lee's a broken man. He's like, God damn, that weird fucking toe is coming at me again. I'll just stand here and take it, I guess. Frank delivers the knockout kick. The crowd's going nuts. And Frank's like, I appreciate you guys clapping, but is anyone in here an ophthalmologist? Because my eye is fucked. No, seriously, I can't see any of you.
So yeah.
That guy just, he rattled off 12 killer jokes in a row, man. That was amazing. That was like he's the bizarro Brendan Schaub, like the exact opposite of watching Brendan Schaub.
60-second classics on TikTok. That guy, he goes through all these crazy fights and all these moves.
What? That's what he's called, 60. I'm adding him right now. I'm not even on TikTok, but I'm finding it.
For the record, this PFL card is like a sleeper. I really like all the heavyweight fights, especially. Yeah, so like Heyman and Crotchet Boss is good, but then Gotsov and Heiderman. I really like the tournament thing they do over there.
Yes, you're right. I mean, I like the fact that you could see a guy fight 4 times in 2 months and actually know who he is versus once every 6 years. You know.
Yeah. Sounds like Steve knows he's going to be working for PFL pretty soon. I really like PFL and their tournament format.
We're going right into those contract negotiations with some. We're better enough.
And Amber Lebrock is a kind of a sleeper hottie, by the way. I thought she hated that.
Sleeper hotties, Adam. I've been meaning to tell you about your earrings this whole time. That's a good look for you.
You like them for real or no?
I do. No, it's sick. Everybody
hates them. Everybody hates them except for you and like a couple black people that I know.
And the guys that were in the band Color Me Bad, because that's what you look like you belong in with those earrings. But.
What does your wife say about him, Adam?
Does it look like a pirate? I'm having a midlife crisis. It just keeps going on.
Has she said lesbian yet? Because that's what I think when I see it.
Lesbian. I look like her like lesbian aunt. It kept. My wife is legitimately funny. One time after sex, I was like, "What's you gonna do on the law?" I did a whole Hulk Hogan thing, and then she goes, "I want a refund." She legit she listens to like minutes of the podcast. This is what you do while I'm working. I mean, I get a lot of that.
We've all been there.
yeah, of course. So, well, listen, Tall Steve. I think we made you laugh. This is Tall. Remember we talked Tall Steve last week? He watches.
Violet.
He watches your videos. He's like,
hey,
he's got a little 2-year-old.
How you doing, princess?
He's got a little girl. What? What's that look for? Wait, do you want to leave?
It looks like she's in the witness protection program on here. Oh, there you go.
You? What are we doing? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on? You know who loves you? Who loves you? Who loves you the most? I love you more than anything in the whole world. You know that, right? So, all right. Well, she has a day off of school and camp, so we're gonna go somewhere. It's like a playground or something. So listen. Say, Tall Steve. Say, I'm your biggest fan, and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're gonna win the next 10 fights. Say you still won 10 in a row. Tell him that.
That's a heck of a script to put out for a 4-year-old.
Say it's okay.
I appreciate baby girl. Thank you for coming on and saying hi.
Tell Steve I'm your biggest fan. Okay, don't say that. Just look at me and laugh. Look at me and laugh.
Even she turned her back on you, Steve.
Make giggle noises.
That's what happens when you lose.
Well, Steve, man, I love you, dude. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world, and dude, win or lose, who gives a shit? You're the best, and you're a great father. You're a great fighter. You're an inspiration. You're a nice guy, and I'm a fan for life. I did order a T-shirt that I never got. I gotta say, where's my T-shirt?
Yeah, I talked to the people there. It's supposed to go out Tuesday. They go out like this coming up Tuesday.
Okay, because I ordered a T-shirt.
No, I had a few people reach out to me. So
I'm wet because I'm sweating because we don't have air conditioning in this room. Yeah. And then say, Sean, I hope your back feels better. Okay, thanks. Say, Sean, you're one of my favorite. Say, Sean, you're one of my favorite fighters too, and you're so funny. Tell him, say, quit being a wimp and do stand-up comedy. All right, thanks. Well, listen, guys, you guys are the best. I love you guys. Have a great weekend.
See you guys
later.
Bye, man.